We're in Kew Gardens. We're at the South African Braai for England versus Algeria in the World Cup, and I'm joined by Joe Waring of Wines of South Africa, who has put on this fabulous event for us. Joe, what is on your head?
It's a makaraba, which is a hat that everybody wears in South Africa at the games. So the guys that work on the construction sites adapt these hats and create these beautiful creations, I guess. And yes, we've brought them over to the UK, and I'm lucky enough to have one tonight.
It's certainly a fashion statement. Did you paint it yourself?
I didn't actually. Somebody in South Africa painted it for me.
Okay. Now, can you tell us exactly what a braai is?
A braai? Well, to us Brits, a braai is a barbecue, but to a South African, a braai is a way of life. South Africans, because they have a far better climate than us, tend to live outdoors, and a braai is fundamentally, it's a fire and you cook your wonderful meat on it, but it's about bringing together friends, it's about good wine, it's about that wonderful sort of welcoming that South African people are so famed for. So a braai it's about everything that's good about food and wine and enjoying life.
And what can we expect to feast on this evening?
Well, we have ostrich burgers this evening, and we have sasotis, which are like a lamb kebab. And then for the fishy amongst us, we have some really good king clip and prawn kebabs. And then we've got some wonderful side dishes like Mark Kent's killer chili sauce. And we've got braai potatoes and a lot of wonderful wine.
Excellent. Now, the football's just starting to pick up. Everything's starting to look really good for the tournament. What does it mean for South Africa to be hosting this competition? It's
huge. I mean, obviously South Africa is the first African nation to have ever hosted a World Cup. And I think you only need to look at the images that are being projected on TV screens in the UK to see what a huge deal it is for the country. And what I think is so exciting about it is that all the coverage coming out of South Africa is about the sort of the unity that the country feels. They're such a proud nation, and are so fiercely proud of their love of football. And I think, in a sense, it's quite a landmark for South Africa. It's obviously hosted a lot of other big sporting events before, but something as high profile as the World Cup in the country, I think is. I mean, the South Africans that I know in the UK think it's the next most important event since the mid-1990s. So, from a South African's point of view, it's pretty significant.
Because, of course, they hosted the Rugby World Cup, didn't they? Back in, was it '95? I think it was, actually, wasn't it?
Yes.
I mean, how does this compare on a scale?
Well, I mean, the country has changed so much since that time, and it's almost a coming of age for South Africa in that sense. In that what was happening in the mid-90s was that the country was sort of coming out of what was essentially quite a negative time, and then what we're seeing now is this new, dynamic, vibrant, diverse country that really has come such a long way. So I think in a sense it's almost a time to reflect on that and actually sort of really look to the future and where South Africa's going to.
So tell us quickly, briefly, the wines you're exhibiting here today.
Well, gosh, we've got about 20 different wine producers exhibiting this evening, a whole range of really stunning wines from some of our sort of best-known boutique producers like Takara to some of our really well-known big brands like Kumala. In fact, we've got Ben, the winemaker from Kumala, here today as well. So, yeah, just something for everybody, really.
Great stuff. Well, it's going to be a great night, I'm sure. Let's hope it goes to plan. Yes. Let's calm down a second and talk about wine, shall we? Oz, the glass in your hand, do you know what it is?
It's a glass in my hand.
And how is it?
It's very fine.
So I'm drinking the Poor Kluwer Pinot, and it's one of the nicest Pinots I've had from South Africa, I have to say. Delightful.
Thank God I've got Jane on my arm.
And what are you drinking there?
I'm drinking De Grendel Sauvignon Blanc. I think the best Sauvignon Blanc in South Africa, and it's cheap as chips.
Good choice.